You ever try to punk someone and it completely backfires? Well, that's exactly what happened when the Washington Mystics tried to intimidate Sophie Cunningham and walked away humiliated. No Caitlin Clark, no excuses, just pure drama. It was supposed to be an easy win for the Mystics. Their rookie, Kiki Iriafen, thought she could make a statement by shoving Sophie Cunningham to the hardwood. But Sophie, she got up, stared her down, and made it crystal clear. That one moment flipped the script on the entire game. And here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark wasn't even in the building. The Mystics tried to bully the Fever, but all they did was light a fire under Sophie. What happened next? Well, let's just say instant regret. Now here's where the fireworks really start. It's early in the game, the Fever are missing Caitlin Clark, and the Mystics are feeling themselves maybe a little too much. Enter Kiki Iriafen, a rookie trying to make a splash in her first WNBA preseason, but instead of making a play on the ball, she goes straight for Sophie Cunningham and shoves her to the floor. No subtlety, no basketball move, just a straight up challenge. Just watch Sophie's reaction. She doesn't milk it for a foul. She doesn't even look at the refs. She gets up, stares Kiki down, and you can see it clear as day. You don't bleeping do that. That's not just words, that's a warning, and the whole arena feels the shift. The crowd goes from casual to electric in a split second. Fever teammates leap off from the bench, ready to back their leader. Meanwhile, the Mystics' bench is grinning, acting like they've just set the tone. But what they don't realize, they just poked the wrong bear. Social media goes wild. Clips of the shove are everywhere. Fans, analysts, and even ex-players are calling out the Mystics for crossing the line. That's not how you earn respect in the WNBA. But Sophie, she doesn't retaliate with cheap shots. She lets her game do the talking. That shove didn't break her, it just put her into overdrive. And from that moment on, you could feel it. This wasn't going to be a normal preseason game. This was about to get personal. The Mystics thought they'd already broken the Fever. No Caitlin Clark in uniform, and after Kiki Iriafen's wrestling move on Sophie Cunningham, Washington was feeling themselves. You could see it on the bench. Smirks, chest bumps, players flexing for the camera. The Mystics came in with a chip on their shoulder, determined to prove last year's losing record was ancient history. But here's what they didn't count on. Sophie Cunningham and the Fever squad weren't about to roll over. Sophie wasn't just standing up for herself, she was igniting her whole team. As one fan posted on X, "These rooks ain't soft like last year, for real, Kiki." Another fired back, "Kick her out." The crowd was buzzing and the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. The Mystics tried to set the tone with brute force. After Iriafen's flagrant, Brittany Sykes followed up with another shove. The Mystics' bench still grinning, but the Fever bench, they're getting louder, rallying, feeding off of Sophie's fire. Even Fever head coach Stephanie White saw the shift. Sophie's a dog, White told the indie star. She's a competitor, she's versatile, she allows us to do different things. She plays with such toughness. She's huge, and she's going to be for us all season long. What she brings from an energy standpoint, she raises the level of play of everybody around her as soon as she steps foot on the floor. Hell, even on the sideline. I mean, her communication, everything, she's definitely an X factor. The Mystics had the early lead. They thought they'd snuffed out Indiana's spark, but every time they tried to punk the Fever, Sophie got meaner, hotter, and hungrier. She started moving off the ball, setting screens, and making herself a problem for the Mystics' defense. The Mystics thought the game was over before it began, but all they did was wake up the wrong player and the wrong team. By halftime, the Mystics were still set up, but the momentum was shifting. Sophie's message was clear. "We have a huge target on our backs. I don't think that's a secret," she said after the game. The Mystics had poked the bear, and now the Fever were coming for them hard. Let's talk about what happened after the shove, because this is where Sophie Cunningham and the Fever flipped the script on the Mystics. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, the Fever looked lost early. They trailed by as much as 15 points in the first half, their offense sputtering and their defense a step slow. The Mystics, led by rookie Kiki Iriafen and veteran Brittany Sykes, were running, flexing, and acting like this was already in the bag. Washington's new look squad, one of the youngest in the league, came in with a plan to bully the Fever and set a physical tone. But then, Sophie Cunningham decided she'd had enough. After being body slammed to the floor, she didn't just get over it, she took over. Cunningham finished with a game-high 21 points on 6 of 11 shooting, nearly 55% efficiency, grabbed 8 rebounds, and went 7 for 7 from the line, including 2 clutch free throws to force overtime. She was plus 16 in her 34 minutes, by far the best plus-minus on the court. And she wasn't alone. Lexi Hall came off the bench with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. Her relentless defense and energy were crucial in the Fever's comeback. Natasha Howard added 11 points and 8 boards in under 20 minutes, while Aaliyah Boston anchored the paint with 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. The Fever trailed 71-65 with under a minute left in regulation. That's when Sophie and Lexi took over. Hall hit 4 straight free throws, Cunningham got fouled for a rebound, and Conley knocked down 2 more to tie it up. The Fever forced a defensive stomp, and suddenly they headed to overtime. In overtime, Indiana outscored Washington 8-3. The Mystics managed just 1 basket as Cunningham and the Fever locked in defensively and finished the job. The box score tells the story. The Fever finished on a 14-3 run, showing the kind of resilience and heart this franchise has been searching for. As overtime hit, the Mystics completely unraveled. Their offense fell apart. Just 1 made basket, 3 avoidable fouls in the final minute of regulation, and a string of missed opportunities that let the Fever storm back and steal the win 79-74. But it wasn't just about losing the game. The Mystics lost their composure and, according to fans and journalists, their class. When the final buzzer sounded, several Fever players waited at half court expecting the traditional handshake line. Instead, the Mystics turned their backs and marched straight to the locker room. As sports journalist Rachel Demita reported, a few Fever players were waving, anticipating a handshake line, but Mystics players went straight to the locker room. Fans erupted online, calling out the Mystics for what many saw as unsportsmanlike behavior. Comments flooded social media. Dirty, classless, no professionalism, bad luck, one fan wrote. The Mystics salty as fook, and that stems from Brittany Sykes, who is Kennedy Carter version 2.0 uncontrollable. Another remarked, bunch of catty babies. The Mystics are a trash organization with trash players, someone else tweeted. Fever, meanwhile, embraced the challenge and the moment. Sophie Cunningham, who led all scorers with 21 points and 8 rebounds, showed what toughness and leadership look like in the WNBA. And let's not forget DeWanna Bonner. The moment things got heated, Bonner was right there, stepping up, pulling Sophie into the huddle, and making sure the Fever stayed focused and together. Bonner's message was clear: we protect our own. You come at one of us, you come at all of us. That's what real leadership looks like, and why this Fever squad is more than just hype. They're a family, and they've got each other's backs. But let's zoom out, shall we? Because this isn't just about one game. There's a bigger problem brewing in the WNBA. Targeting rookies and stars with hard fouls and intimidation tactics isn't new. Just this preseason, we've seen multiple incidents. Caitlin Clark getting shoved by Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese getting chirped by vets, and now Sophie Cunningham taking hits from Mystics rookies. It's become a pattern, almost a rite of passage for new faces and rising stars. And it doesn't stop with the players. Ownership and front offices are stirring the pot too. Mystics owner Sheila Johnson recently made headlines for her pointed comments about Caitlin Clark's impact on the league, saying, "We're not just here for the hype, we're here for the win. The league needs to focus on the basketball, not just the marketing." These attitudes trickle down. When leadership sends a message that it's okay to target certain players, it shows up on the court as aggression, resentment, and sometimes even outright hostility. As ESPN's Andrea Carter put it, the WNBA is at a crossroads. The league is growing, the spotlight is bigger, and the stakes are higher, but with that comes a responsibility to protect the game and its players. Right now, the league has a choice. Let this culture of targeting and bitterness fester, or step up and set a new standard for respect and sportsmanship. Sophie Cunningham dropped 21 and walked off a winner. The Mystics, they dropped the ball and their dignity. And the Fever, they're just getting started with or without Caitlin Clark. If you think Sophie deserves more respect, smash that like button. If you think the Mystics owe the Fever a handshake and maybe an apology at that, drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more real talk, real hoops, and all the WNBA drama you won't see anywhere else. Check out our other videos for more wild moments, epic highlights, and the stories behind the headlines. This season's just heating up. Don't miss a second of it.